It's Christmas. Again. How does this keep happening? Christmas this year might be a little bit different. I've already faced myself up to that fact. Currently there's a lockdown in Britain, and even if it lifts, I'm probably not going to be able to see my parents indoors or at all, because they are tres high risk, and it's just going to be a different Christmas, and I'm mentally preparing myself for that. And perhaps there's something telling about me having to give myself a 2-month run up to that mindset, but here we are. Don't say I never romance you. I have attempted to make it look Christmassy over here. All complaints can be sent to this email address. Today we're doing a Christmas gift guide. Now last year, 'tis the season to feel morally conflicted, I did a video all about kind of plastic-free gifts and trying to get non-physical gifts given to people, suggestions of experiences and vouchers and stuff. That resource already exists, so if you'd like to see that, it's up here, but there's no need for me to make that video again. And I was thinking about this year and how it is slightly different in the kind of things we're looking for. A lot of us won't be able to be present with the people that we love, and actually I can understand that sending a physical thing in lieu of your physical flesh is a comforting thing. God, there's literally about 3 hours of daylight at the moment in Britain, so I really hope it doesn't go down on us. I also know at the moment it's really important to be supporting small businesses, to be supporting local businesses, and I know when I'm looking for gifts, I often go into panic mode and like just order something from the website that must not be named. So I thought I'd splodge this resource here for you to return to whenever you feel like starting your Christmas shopping. A list of things I genuinely have curated and really recommend and have used myself, sometimes for years. And they're all gonna be from small businesses. Yay! God, I need to pump myself up with the Christmas spirit, don't I? Okay. I've tried to cover a whole host of different kinds of people you might be buying for and a whole host of different price ranges. I'll leave as much information as humanly possible in the description. Definitely leave your own recommendations below. I want to hear what small businesses you love and have tried. And if you're new here, hi, I'm Leena. I talk about existential dread, books, the climate, but I try and do it without panicking or getting too serious on you. If that sounds good and you think you might want to be here again, the subscribe button is below. Stay. Grab a hot chocolate, pull up a beanbag, let's go. So the first physical thing I obviously would love you to give people is books, preferably bought through ethical avenues and books that people will genuinely love and want to keep. Now, a big request I've been having on the Gumption Club, which is my Patreon group, is books for people who don't read very much. I think there's a lot of people who watch the channel who would probably know what to give somebody who they love who also likes books, but struggle to find stuff for people who don't read that much, because reading is the only virus we want to be infectious this year. Am I right, folks? So I've compiled a very quick list that I won't go into too much around books that you could give people who aren't big readers. The first one is Women Don't Owe You Pretty by Florence. I'm reading this at the moment. My one has gold sides, very exciting. I love this because it's not too text heavy. There's a lot of illustrations in it. It's feminism that's very easy on the eyes, but is by no means in its content light. If you don't follow Florence on Instagram, oh my God, I would recommend. This really feels like a gift. It's really quality. It's only $12.99. This could have easily been $15 or $18.99, I feel. I would particularly recommend this if you would like to give a Christmas gift to a friend that subconsciously says, dump him. I always recommend for people who don't read often Jackie K. Trumpet. The way it's written kind of pulls you in, and even if you're somebody who's not used to settling into a book, you can't help but settle into this one. And it's also pacey enough that it really keeps your attention if you're not used to focusing your mind for that long. But it's also incredibly beautiful, and I will leave links to where I've talked about it before below. For YA, it's got to be Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. This cover is obviously very gifty and beautiful, but it's also one of the most incredible YA, non-white, queer, beautiful love stories I've ever read, and you can see by all the medals that everybody else thinks so too. And you can't go wrong with a little bit of Aristotle and Dante. If you're looking for one that somebody might not have yet, Dangerous Remedies came out in the summer by Dunn. It's magical realism, revolutionary France, queer, adventure romp, and it's incredible. I absolutely love this, and I think for somebody who doesn't read very much, this is a really good example of how fun books can be. Or perhaps if they're having a tough time, I would recommend getting them poetry. These are 2 poetry collections that again look really gifty and nice and like special to give. Set Set Me on Fire, A Poem for Every Feeling. Ella Rishberger, who put this together, said that she really wanted to call it a poetry book for people who hate poetry. It's incredibly comforting, it's incredibly beautiful, and especially if people haven't read poetry before, I would hand them this. The same goes for The Poetry Pharmacy Returns, Prescriptions for Courage, Healing and Hope, which is loads of different poems from lots of different eras that are there tailored to your ailment. So you can look up disappointment, vacancy, feeling lost, loneliness, fear of mortality, need for mindfulness, letting go, and it will prescribe you a poem for it. It's already getting dark. God damn you, Britain. It's also really nice to get somebody a physical subscription to something, because you can usually get the first one to give to them and then it's kind of like keeps giving all year. The one that my mum and dad got me last year was a subscription to Dyslexia magazine, the magazine for women who write. And it's genuinely so useful, really well put together, and I'm really impressed by it. I'm a long time fan of Dyslexia, and it also gives you loads of like competitions for writing that aren't really available anywhere else. You won't be able to find out about them. Most of the stuff that I'm showing in this video I have bought myself, but whenever I have been gifted it, I will say so and also put it in the description. So these are 2 editions of Writing magazine, which I was sent as a gift from them, and I was genuinely really impressed by this. The covers look very, I don't call them misleading, but they're just very different to how the magazine is inside. If Dyslexia is more like philosophical reflections on writing and quite literary, this is more like, here's how you actually write, here's how you organise your thoughts, here are some practical tips on how to get writing literally right now. So they're 2 halves of the same whole really, but these are genuinely really, really good magazines. Not Spawn. You also might want to consider book subscription services. The one that I'd really recommend, because I know the booksellers and have visited them, there's a video with me talking to the booksellers up there, is Mr. B's Emporium, which is based in Bath. They're an independent bookshop and they do tailored book subscription services really, really well. And 2 others that I've heard really good things about is Books Upstairs, which is an Irish independent bookshop that I've been to before, and the Big Green Bookshop, who also do gift a book to a stranger. So definitely take a look at those. But moving on from books, by the way, my gift to you this year is this boob mic. I know I've been deafening you by accidentally hitting the mic or doing that to the mic. For years now, for 11 years, I've either given you echoey audio from my undecorated rented apartments, or I've given you the pop. So I hope you enjoy the sound today. Merry Christmas to you and me, obviously, and both of us. Another company that I've used a lot, and you may have seen in some of my videos, are Snag Tights. I've talked about these people before, but I think they're incredible. I own so many of their tights. I used to do that hack that I've talked about in videos where I wear a pair of pants, put on a pair of tights, and then wear another pair of pants so I can keep my tights up. But Snag Tights, I discovered soon after making that video, are the only tights that don't make a dash for my knees as soon as I start walking. They're also a small business. They have a really impressive size range. Like, I've never seen such an impressive size range in tights, and also an incredible amount of colours. I would personally love to get tights for Christmas, and these tights are like really exciting. They're really exciting to get because they're in lovely colours. And I'm also really in for, and that's how I've chosen a lot of things on this list, buying stuff that people might already buy for themselves. So you're not like giving people extra stuff in their life that they don't need, or like kind of clutter. You're buying stuff that they may have in future bought for themselves, and you're giving them something a little bit nicer, a little bit more thoughtful, introducing them to a smaller brand, a more ethical or sustainable choice. It's like a nice, non-intrusive way of putting your own ethics into the stuff you buy for Christmas without like being like, I think you should buy organic soap, actually. So yeah, I really like that thing where you can kind of introduce stuff into people's lives so that maybe in the future they will make a swap. Which leads me on to this incredible advent calendar from Freedom Street. That's freedom without the N. This was gifted, but I actually approached them because of their good reputation and how good it looked to me. So I asked them if they had any extra press allocations for this, and they said yes. So this is the Freedom Advent Calendar. Freedom are a small business. They're a website that sources cruelty-free and plastic-free beauty products, grooming products, hygiene products. And I thought it'd be cool to show you the whole advent calendar in case you do want to make a splash and send somebody something really special. I'm kind of on the fence about advent calendars because I think it has to be the right kind of things. If it's not going to be wasteful, you have to be sure that you're going to use the stuff. And I wasn't going to mention this if I didn't like it, but I genuinely found it really, really useful. And if you're somebody who has already run out of loads of products or goes through products quite fast, it's quite a good way of just like bulk making the decision that you're like, I'm going to buy independent, I'm going to buy plastic free, I've set myself up for the year. I also really like the Freedom one because They're all kind of full-size products. There's 17 full-size products in there, which is really cool. It's customizable, so you're not going to get things you don't use, so you can pick the kind of makeup you have in it, like dark or neutral. And they also have 3 doors that are donations to charities, so you don't actually get something, you just get a card saying you did a thing. The other part of this was that it came obviously with a lot of boxes, which are made of recycled paper and you can recycle again, which again like gives it that gift flavour, but also I was like, is this wasteful? So I'm going to be reusing all these boxes to gift my own stuff in for Christmas, because obviously you can open it in the run up to Christmas and then reuse the boxes. But if the whole advent calendar doesn't look like something that would be for you, I picked out 3 things I've been using and trying that I genuinely think are worth the money. One is this solid night cream, and so this is like quite a specific thing and actually quite hard to find. I looked a couple of years ago and searched everywhere for like a solid night cream because I knew I was like wasting all of these plastic bottles, and I couldn't find one anywhere, so I kind of gave up. So when that came in the advent calendar, I was really jubilated. I do regret cutting it though into this square pattern. That was a mistake. It now lives in this tin pot that I have, which I recycled from the deodorant that I use, which is called the Clay Cure. So I don't know how much you spend on your night cream, but I usually spend about a tenner. This one is £24 and it's supposed to be the equivalent to 2 jars of moisturiser. So it's kind of about what I buy anyway. It kind of melts on your skin, so you kind of just like massage it into your skin, and it actually takes very little to cover your whole face, which is really great. So I kind of can believe that it will take 2 jars worth, I hope. It kind of has the consistency of those massage bars you get from Lush, but it doesn't dissolve as fast, but it does dissolve at the temperature of your skin, if that makes sense. The next thing I was really impressed with, and again have been looking for, was some plastic-free hair conditioner. This one is Hairy Jane. I think this is the 100 millilitres and it retails at £7. It smells great, it feels great, it made my hair look great. Great, great, great. This is why I'm not a beauty guru. I don't have very many adjectives for hair products. I don't feel like I'm that fussy. I also really liked the Upcircle face serum that you get. This is supposed to go on after your moisturiser to lock in the moisture. It smells like coffee. It smells really good. It feels really nice on your skin as well. Obviously, I won't know if it's really preserved the quality of my skin for another 10 years, so check in with me in 2030 for that. I really struggle with reviewing skincare for that reason, but this on its own would be a really nice gift. It feels really luxurious, but is plastic free and nice. And then also for refillable makeup, which is again something I want to transition into, this is the Zawo Essence of Nature blush. It smells like sherbet sweets. It's incredibly pigmented and I was really, really impressed with that. It's got a little magnetic lid. Other interesting things was like a massive bag of pick and mix that was wrapped in like non-plastic plastic made from something else. Wasn't really sure. But Craig reviewed the sweets and he said they tasted very nice and they were also vegan. And like a plastic free lipstick, which I'm still trying out, so I'm not sure if I recommend yet, but I was really fascinated by this idea of like a lipstick that you kind of like unravel through wood. So yeah, even if you don't end up getting the advent calendar, it's a good thing to check out and look at what's in it and see if there's anything that you genuinely need or the person that you love might need that you can help them replace their thing with. It's getting more Christmassy as it gets dark, isn't it? It's very exciting. Yeah, this is a really random one, but this is something that I've bought for quite a few people now, and I think it's a really great little present. This is my half-size water bottle. Now bear with, people laugh at me for this, but this actually has made me stop using plastic bottles because I really don't have any excuse not to carry this with me at all times. It fits in like a pocket, fits in a dress pocket. It's the size of a Coke can, and I always find like the other water bottles to be really bulky, and then I don't bring water out with me, and then I inevitably get thirsty and end up using something wasteful. This is from a company called 24 Bottles, and it's a really nice kind of like more unusual reusable gift. They come in like literally hundreds of different patterns, and I always think like it's not really about the size of the thing, it's about how actually usable it is in your actual life. So I know it's really silly to have like a metal water bottle change your life, but I genuinely object to those big water bottles. I think this is kind of all you need to carry around before you get to the next water point where you can fill it up, you know? Another thing that I thought about that I use all the time to recommend and have given as gifts as well is the Divine drinking chocolate. It's completely fair trade and it's not that much more expensive than normal hot chocolate. This was $3.79. You can get them directly from Divine's website. You can also get them if you go into Oxfam bookshops and places like that, they sell them. And I was very excited because I realised this year they have a limited edition that is vegan and it's salted caramel hot chocolate. And it looks like very cute and very, very gifty. But something that really annoys me about instant hot chocolate a lot of the time is that they don't make it sweet enough. It tastes like kind of bitter, kind of like cooking chocolate, on top of it being like ethical and actually like visually pleasing. And apart from the lids, like in non-plastic packaging, is that it actually has sugar in it for actual humans. Like, why would you want to make hot chocolate healthy? It doesn't make any sense. Also, the bars of Divine Chocolate are genuinely like nicer than Cadbury's in my opinion. Another thing I've been wearing a lot is this pendant. It's from Yala and it's their zero waste brass pendant. It's made out of the extras that they use when they cast the rest of their jewellery. For ethical jewellery, it's actually a really impressive price. It's £25 and it comes on like a 14 carat chain. I'm really mostly into statement jewellery and kind of very rarely wear stuff that's more delicate, and I think this is quite nice because it's quite a big pendant and it's like misshapen and a little bit shabby like me. It came in this really nice recycled wool pouch, and I think it'd be like a really sweet, nice, unusual gift to give to somebody. Oh yeah, and they're a black-owned business as well, so even better. Actually, in my notes, I actually have some stats on that. According to Morgan Stanley, investments in women and minority-owned businesses are 80% lower than the median investment in businesses overall. This is despite the fact that companies that have racial and ethnic diversity are 35% more likely to have financial returns. And in the UK, there is a 3.2 billion UK racial pay gap. What the actual fuck? On that note, another black business that I have been buying from is Narula. This is a cleansing oil, and it takes off all your makeup, and I mean like all of your makeup, not just like a little bit of your makeup. So if you are, or you have like a friend who constantly uses face wipes, before I started using cleansing balm and oil, I thought that face wipes got off all your makeup. And then one time I took off my makeup with a normal face wipe, and then I used a cleansing oil, and like twice as much makeup came off my face that had just still been sitting on there. So anyway, I'm on that cleansing oil hype as it is. Narula is a small business, it's black owned, it's organic, it's vegan, it's cruelty free, it's all the things. And this also kind of doubles if you like massaging your face at night, which I have recently heard is a thing that people should do, and I get quite bored, but I do try sometimes. This is very cool and also feels like a really nice gift as well. If you're looking to really treat somebody and invest in small business and also ethical business, because again, we'll make more videos on this later, but it does genuinely cost a lot to make an item, and I have learned that from actually trying to sew during lockdown. Wow. If I was paid per hour the living wage for the random crap shit that I made during that video, it was an eye-opening experience. But if you do want to buy some ethical clothing and you want to help somebody replace stuff in their wardrobe, I personally really like Girlfriend Collective stuff. They make ethical, size-inclusive sports bras and leggings, and I quite like businesses that do like a few things and do them really well. I've had a pair of their black leggings for about 3 years and they're still growing really strong. Another way that I used to waste a lot was using up leggings and having the chafe hole between the thighs and having to rebuy leggings all the time. That has literally not happened to me with these leggings for 3 years. The black one's also really nice, and I've actually worn them on some nights out with like a kind of baggy shirt or a kind of bigger top, and I've been enjoying wearing them during lockdown and doing my little dances, making a little love to the air, getting down tonight. Can't believe I just showed the internet those clips. But yeah, they're genuinely, like, I've tried to destroy those leggings a few times and my attempts have been futile. They're kind of like indestructible. And they also don't have that annoying like elastic band around your middle that kind of digs into you and makes like you feel like you've been sawed in half. Like the whole legging is just made out of elastic, so it kind of like supports you, especially if you're somebody who's a bit wobbly like me. But they really like support you without making you feel like they're too small for you or like you shouldn't be there. Or you're like a toothpaste tube and the rest of you is being like squeezed out the end of them. If you don't know, if that doesn't make any sense to you, don't worry. That information is not for you, but if you know, you know. I've talked about Gungho before, but my friend Sophie runs this amazing ethical business called Gungho. You probably recognise the dresses from some of my videos. One of these was gifted to me, but she's my friend. She gave it to me for my birthday, so I'm not really sure how I'm supposed to declare that. But one of them was a gift, one of them I bought with my own money and saved up for. The ethos of Gungho is to get like clothes that last forever, that you love, that are really versatile, but also get people talking, so each piece has like a meaning behind it. For instance, this dress that you're seeing here, is actually, when you look at it closely, a guide to eating seasonally. Like each colour represents a season, and each shape outline is the outline of a fruit and vegetable for that season that you should be eating in that season. How fucking clever. I can't. So yeah, if you're looking to invest in something very durable and completely ethically made in the UK, Gungho is the one. And also, if you're in the Gumption Club, I have a podcast that's available just for Gumptioners at the moment with Sophie. So if you are already in the Gumption Club or you'd like to join, I'll leave a link specifically to that episode below. We're running out of light and time. Not Gumption, we still have that in hordes. Oh yeah, I also wanted to mention that Storygraph, who I did a video about a while ago, are now doing a pre-sale of subscriptions. So I think you can pay like £30 a year. I'm really glad they're going for the subscription model over the advert model. I'm so excited to see where that business goes. But if you're the friend of somebody who loves Goodreads accounts, I think getting a subscription to the Storygraph would be really sweet and really lovely. And then finally, I had like a little wish list because I didn't want to buy stuff that I don't actually need at this moment to show you, because that wouldn't feel very sustainable. But I wanted to tell you, were I to buy 3 more things in my life, these would be the things that I would buy, and I wanted to show you that these businesses exist and how cool they look. One is Jam. They use vintage and recycled items to make new items, and they kind of like customize them, put faces on them. It looks really, really cool and curated and lovely. They also happen to be a Black-owned business. These earrings are out of stock, but as soon as they're in stock from cooler jewellery, I want them with all of my soul. You know how I love a good statement earring. And there's also this ethical jewellery one of my friends, Mia, recommended to me, and she loves Catch Reese. They look like they have really, really, really nice sustainably made jewellery that looks incredible. I would save up and buy one of these pieces, but they don't yet make earrings big enough for my obnoxious personality. Basically, like, one of my long-term things that I'd love to own and cherish is like a really big pair of hoop earrings that are sustainable and ethical and are gonna last me a lifetime, basically. And also, like, my ears are actually allergic to stuff that isn't silver or gold because they're like bougie as shit. Like, I have these 2 ears hanging off my unbougie body that just only will take gold. So I'd love a pair of like earrings that I could keep in for more than like 6 hours that don't make my ears go gunky. And I've been on the search for years now to find like the one pair of gold hoop earrings. Anyway, that's enough. I'm just monologuing at this point. The sun in Britain has gone down, and so has my energy levels. So I'm going to leave it there. I hope you enjoyed this gift guide and it was helpful in any way. Like I said, do leave any of your own recommendations below. You can see my gift guide from last year up here. There's another video here you might want to see. Do subscribe. Thank you so much for watching this cozy and apparently very pink gift guide. Frog Smug out.